Welcome back to DJ Idle Hands. Ugh. All right. We got another like kind of classic, almost like grudge match here of Shane versus asddast. So first of all, let me fix the. Let me turn down the score. Jesus. Okay, let me fix the score here. Should be asddast versus Retrobot, and this is another winner semis match. All right, there we go. Yes, so this is a rematch of a match that actually happened just last week, where asddast actually won that one 2-0. I think a lot of the same things about that match are going to carry over here. Basically, this is going to be a really volatile matchup. Last week, the theme was that Shane would take an early lead, and then asddast would kind of snowball and just two-stock him from there. I think something very similar could end up happening this time. I think one thing that works really well is that Shane can kind of have a read on some of asddast's defensive patterns, but once asddast gets the download, like, he starts snowballing on percent, and Shane isn't quite able to handle it. This is also going to be a best of 5. Last week was a best of 3, so this is going to be another interesting set from that perspective. Alright, that will not quite take it. Brawler's recovery is actually like a very good from a lot of horizontal angles. Ooh, really good, really good. I actually didn't realize that it would catch there. Alright, so we're basically already even. Shane didn't really manage to establish that much in terms of extra credit, and asddast actually has a really good lineup of Pikmin for putting on damage right now. Purple is obvious, white just sticks on you. Oh, that's the double purple now. Yeah, this is extremely good for asddast. Oh, he missed the spike kickbox. Yeah, as you can see, already, like, as soon as asddast reestablishes lead, and he took away Shane's recovery resources there, I feel like we could see a very similar theme. Honestly, I feel like Shane really maybe needs to try the Roy in this matchup. I feel like the Brawler attempts are just, like, getting less and less close a lot of the time against asddast. I understand why he wants to go for it. His movement is pretty crazy, and he can definitely approach Olimar in a lot of unique ways, but I feel like at this point, asddast is just too comfortable in the matchup. That'll take it, though. I think that was, like, not a guaranteed one. I could be wrong, but I think that was not guaranteed, but just asddast either didn't know or didn't manage to implement the DI. Yeah, this is really solid for asddast, specifically because he has the purple out right now. He's going to get blue very soon. Like, this is a much more uphill battle. That should take game 1. All right. Yeah, I really feel like unless, like, asddast leaves Battlefield open or something, and then maybe you want to try that stage, but Shane even tried that last week, and he still didn't go too great for him. I do think that at this point you kind of have to give the Rob a shot. If he wants to stick it out with Brawler, maybe he just is feeling more like Brawler is the answer, or maybe he just wants to be more of a Brawler in general these days, then, you know, I can see it, but I don't know. I feel like he may be sacrificing a chance at a very winnable set otherwise. For the record, this is going to be really interesting winners finals wise, no matter who wins. asddast is actually Shawarma's bracket demon historically, whereas I remember one of his, like, really big wins last semester that almost catapulted him on PR is he beat Shane pretty dominantly. So either way, that's going to be kind of a legacy winners finals. Ooh, that should be an early stock for asddast. You don't normally think of Olimar as a character who takes stocks early, but when you have the Pikmin, and especially when you have a character as volatile as Brawler, like, yeah, that's going to happen. Oh, really good snipe there, though. It doesn't kill, but that's a great position for Shane. Shane, why? Okay. Shane just, like, lets the Pikmin sit on him. Doesn't do anything to contest it. Doesn't shield flicker or anything. Pretty good. Yeah, asddast is just gonna try to get as much extra percent as possible. He doesn't really need to care about that much else. That was a very, like, ballsy up B. Just kind of put him in more trouble than it took him out of, I think. Yeah, what's gonna be the ledge option? Good call out there, not gonna quite kill. Ooh, I'm liking asddast. If asddast is playing bad, he'll almost always, like, autopilot whistle in those scenarios. I really like what he did right there, which is where Shane was waiting out the whistle and asddast just straight up didn't give it to him. Makes it a lot harder to actually continue the juggle against Olimar. I think a really big sign when asddast is playing well is that he won't go for a lot of those, like, defensive crutches, especially the whistle at, like, the same placements. some of my favorite sound effects in the game, courtesy of me, Brawler. Alright, this is slightly different from what we've been accustomed to seeing in this matchup, where asddast gets a very early lead, and then Retrobot ends up kind of like bringing it back a little bit. That being said, that'll be easy kill. That was a huge panic from Shane, for sure. Oh! Early stock, though, and now we're even Stevens. Yeah, I think one big adaptation that Shane has definitely been making is that he's not jumping in nearly as predictably anymore. Me, Brawler, can definitely, again, kind of be a crutch where you want to jump in all the time because a lot of his frame data is really good and he's such a fast character. But the problem is that Olimar is so good at punishing obvious, like, approach attempts and stuff, especially if you've got the purple. But just in general, like, up smash out of shield is just such a good option. Yeah. Oh, another thing. That side B is like one of me Brawler's best tools most of the time, but because of the way the Pikmin operate, it doesn't always end up working out. Like, you'll kind of start to grab them, and then the Pikmin will just knock you right out of it. Liking the weights from Shane. He's definitely playing this a lot more solid this game around. Yeah, this is basically last hit for both of us, or both of them, rather, but Shane is definitely in, like, the king's position right now. asddast does have one purple, which is pretty good. Oh, he has two purples, never mind. Now asddast is in a really good position. And just the raw up smash out of shield. No mix-up, and that'll be asddast up 2-0. If Shane doesn't go Rob this match, he's trolling. Honestly, he's trolling. But I understand why he wouldn't want to. I would imagine asddast is pretty good at that matchup, and Shane's probably got, probably fought asddast in that matchup enough to know. Yeah, we're running it back, and Shane's sticking out with the me Brawler. Alright, I respect it even if I don't agree with it. That game was definitely the closest that I've seen between these two in a while, so maybe he feels like he's making some breakthrough, and even if he doesn't necessarily win this set, maybe he feels like he has a greater understanding going forward. I've definitely had those moments in matchups before, especially against players like asddast, so... Yeah, much slower paced start to this game. Probably just Shane doesn't want to get blown up the same way that he did that last game. Surprisingly, you've actually seen asddast being the aggressor in a lot of these scenarios. I think that's another sign that asddast is just playing really on. And yeah, insane magnet hands on that up B. And Shane will make it back. And that's a super early stock for Shane. He scouted that out extremely impressively. Yeah. Now asddast is really playing on the back foot. This is where Olimar is easily the worst, because you don't have time to get the Pikmin that you need to make the insane comeback either. So you kind of have to work with what you're given, and you know, just like don't really have time to get the order that would allow you to have that insane snowball potential that Olimar usually has. That'll kill. Yep, that'll do it. Especially fortunate for asddast there that the yellow was on deck, just because it had a greater chance than any of the others of actually hitting Shane on the way down. Not that that's a particularly hard thing to time, just you know, definitely every step counts in matches like these. And now all of a sudden, here we go. Two purples and a white. This is exactly what you want. And yeah. Another kind of bad habit of Shane's is that I think also, it's kind of something that Rob specifically has allowed him to do. He very often defensive options right back into you instead of retreating and trying to, you know, catch his bearings. And that's like one of the biggest things that definitely allows asddast to just call out his approach and defensive options in a lot of similar ways, really. You won't see asddast even needing to make that many big reads, because a lot of the time, Shane approaching and Shane playing on the back foot kind of don't have that big of a difference as me Brawler. Yeah, Shane's win con here is just funny me Brawler jank. Get another, like, pretty early kill like he did in the first stock, but even then, like, it's not that likely that he'll be able to find it again. He almost found a down B there, but, like, I don't think asddast is going to be looking to give Shane any down Bs off stage after that. That's kind of like one of those, like, alright, you get one per set type of moves. At least against players like asddast who are going to take notice of that. Alright, even stocks. Rage definitely makes me Brawler a really strong, potent character. The problem is that Olimar is really good with Rage, and that's a swift 3-0. So yeah, we're setting up for a really interesting winners finals. Like I said, asddast, historically Shawarma's bracket demon. Like, this could be Shawarma's tournament to win, but he has to conquer his